Before we start, I recommend that you watch my most recent video for context. The video shows that Herta is able to zero-cycle the current MOC-10 without using Before Dawn LC, without bringing Bronya into her team, and most importantly, with a sustained character. So what the heck is happening? You see, by removing 2 Harmony characters in Herta's team, that means she is lacking buffs. The question is, does Herta really lack damage-boosting buffs? In my old Herta guide, I mentioned that the core of Herta's kit is not her talent, but rather, it's her ultimate. Her ultimate triggers multiple sources of self-buffs, such as the 25% attack boost from her last Eidolon, and the 25% critical damage boost from the Hunter set. And with further min-maxing, you could even boost her ultimate's damage through her A6 talent. I then asked myself, is there still a way to optimize everything that Herta offers? Herta, being a genius herself, answered my question. It can still be optimized. Herta's technique grants her a huge 40% attack buff for 3 turns. To utilize this buff to its fullest, instead of making Herta take more actions, it is better to make her extremely slow and maximize the impact of each of her turns and actions performed. That includes her follow-up attacks. Bronya provides extra actions that burn through Herta's buffs pretty quickly, making it counterintuitive to her optimization. Herta really said, "Fine, I'll do it myself," and had Bronya removed from her team. However, Herta can't simply remove all Harmony characters in her team just because she can buff herself. To make this tech actually work, Herta requires a source of energy for her ultimate. This is where Tingyun comes in. At the very start of the battle, Tingyun can almost fill Herta's meter to 100%. This means that if Herta performs an attack or gets hit, she can use her ultimate on her first turn, granting herself all the buffs that it activates. An E6 Tingyun will guarantee that Herta's meter gets filled to 100%. With all of Herta's self-buffs being active, this means that her ultimate and follow-up attacks could easily wipe all trash mobs and allow herself to regain huge amounts of energy. Each follow-up attack triggered gives 5 energy, and each kill gives 10 energy. This prepares Herta for her next turn, which allows her to use her ultimate again and maintain her buffs. Since Herta will be able to use her ultimate without the help of Tingyun, Tingyun will have some room to gain energy for her ultimate. After Herta performs her ultimate on her second turn, Tingyun should be able to give Herta energy that allows Herta to use her ultimate on her third turn. And with this, the strategy is complete. Herta as her own Harmony. If you go back to the video, you will notice that Herta only needed to act 3 times throughout the battle, meaning the 3-turn attack buff coming from her technique had 100% uptime. By being slow, even 1-turn duration buffs coming from her last Eidolon and Light Cone had 100% uptime. The lesson here is that speed or turn manipulation isn't always king. Maximizing the impact of each character's turn is a viable strategy, especially with Herta, whose ultimate has low energy cost and is able to perform follow-up attacks. In my old Herta guide, I recommended using an energy rope to help Herta be able to spam her ultimate and maintain better uptime on her self-buffs. This is still true in a casual setup, especially if Tingyun is not in the team. However, if you plan to adopt this strategy and use Tingyun with Herta, then you won't be needing an energy rope anymore and should switch to an attack rope. It goes without saying that you must not use speed boots to make Herta very slow. For Tingyun, she can use almost anything as long as she uses speed boots. But for zero cycling, it is important for her to use Dance 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 LC combined with a 4-piece messenger set to allow a slow Herta move twice within the first cycle. If Tingyun is incapable of pushing Herta back into the first cycle, you might need some speed substats on Herta. What's ironic about the whole Herta is low tier thing is that there's actually so much value out of building Herta. Herta is a free character, she is a 4-star, and would require less materials to max out. Her Eidolons are free. You would most likely get her duplicates from your gacha pulls that'll get her to E6. Herta can be literally used anywhere. It's not just farming in the overworld or galaxies. As you can see in my videos, she is capable of doing endgame content as well. She can perform to extreme levels that allows zero cycling in MOC and could even solo Swarm Disaster on the highest difficulty. Despite what people say, farming for her relics is actually more of an advantage. Herta uses the hunter set while Pella uses the eagle set. Both relics can be farmed on literally the same cavern of corrosion. With Jingliu arriving, you should not be pressured at all into pulling her. If you don't particularly like Jingliu, it is safe to skip her. Herta is more than enough for your ice damage dealer needs. And that's it for now. Like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more content.